Hey gorgeous, I hope you're doing well, and today I wanted to come here and celebrate my 13-year anniversary on YouTube. I started my channel on January 14, 2011, but I launched my first video on January 18th, 2011. So I consider both of those days very special to me. I actually found out about YouTube on January 14th 2011, and I was so excited that I signed up right away with the intention of making content, and then 4 days later I had already posted my first video, and 13 years later here we are, absolutely still loving it. Learned so many lessons along the way, grew so much, made so many friends, and so I wanted to take this moment to celebrate by sharing with you 5 lessons that I've learned. I've learned like 20 gazillion, but I was just kind of tapping in, doing a little meditation, and these were the 5 that came up as something that I wanted to share with you today. And also as a celebration, I'm going to be sharing a special offer, so wait until the end of this video for that. So number 1 lesson that I've learned, and these aren't in any particular order, but it just came up first, is that I really value slow growth over fast growth. And I think that we do live in a culture where, you want to do everything fast, and we want all the success right away, overnight. And that's great for when you actually have a container for that. And I know 13 years ago, God no, I did not have a container for any of the stuff that I have. And if I had gotten it then, it would not have been to my benefit. I would have sabotaged it. It probably would have destroyed me. So I am so glad that at least God had the foresight, even though I didn't, to let me evolve and move slowly, and let the entire journey be more about my inner work and my growth than about achieving some kind of fast result. So everything that I have now, I managed to accomplish now, has been this so slow process. Like they say, right? Would you rather be the hare or the tortoise? And so I think that I'm the tortoise. Like, I'm the one that did it slow but consistently, and it gave me enough time to embody and do my inner work and make it like sustainable, right? Number 2, I think goes hand in hand with that, is play the long game. And I didn't know this at the time, obviously. I always say God tricks me into everything. I didn't know if YouTube would even exist 13 years later. I didn't know if I would feel like doing it, even a year later. But looking back, there was always this playing the long game mentality and focusing on relationships and well-being and overall, like, can I sustain it? So I tried a lot of different things, but I never did anything that wasn't sustainable for me in the long term. And so I focused on, is this going to be healthy for me long term? And I focused on making genuine relationships with people. I always thought about, I hope I'm not like sacrificing anything to have something else. And I think that's that, like, playing the long game mentality versus like getting really, really fast results and sacrificing certain aspects of your life, but then burning out and not being able to sustain that. And the reason I knew this is because I had done that previously, right? In my real estate business in my 20s, I didn't play the long game, and things happened very fast. I didn't have the container for it. So this time I was happy to just move at my own pace. Number 3, a lesson that I've learned is that I am not for everyone, right? I look at YouTube or any other like communities or forums as little niches that are tribal, right? Like, if you go back to our ancestral history, we lived in these very small tribes, and the tribes consisted about 3 to 5 joint family systems. So it wasn't like hundreds of people or thousands of people, right? In fact, evolutionary anthropologists and evolutionary psychologists say that over 150 people in a tribe creates chaos. Like, it's 150, it's like the magical number. More than that, it just leads to more infertility, like a whole host of issues in like the people of that tribe. So knowing that our ancestors lived in these small tribes, and in these tribes, everyone was pretty much similar. They spoke the same language, they worshiped sort of the same kind of gods, they, lived the same lifestyle. And now when we have social media and we've got so many people following us with so many different nationalities, cultures, lifestyles, right? There will be people that end up in my world that this message is not meant for, right? Like they might expect me to come change my language or change the way that I look or change the way that I word my message or say that I need to speak to people that are in a certain socioeconomic situation. And I don't have to do any of those things because I am not for everyone. The people that are meant to be in my community will already understand and appreciate the way that I speak, the way that I look, the way that I word things, and the way that I say things, because it will just vibe with them. They will understand it. I do not have to twist or morph my message in any way to accommodate everyone, because that's not just, we never evolved to accommodate everyone, right? We lived in these very small sort of tribal situations. So again, just keeping my message to what my message needs to be versus trying to make it relatable to everyone. Number 4, what I've learned is that do hard things, but let it be fun. So sometimes when people hear me saying things like, let it be fun, they think that that they're now not going to be available to do any hard things, that they're just going to ditch things if they are uncomfortable. And that's not true. I've done many things that were very, very uncomfortable to create the success in my life because they were out of my comfort zone. And anything that's out of your comfort zone will be uncomfortable. And I've had to overcome our general human fear of being seen on this level, right? We're the first generation to be seen in this exponential way. We've never done this before. And so I've had to be okay with feeling the discomfort of that. I've had to be okay with being vulnerable in front of, millions of views, millions of eyeballs on me. So those things were hard. They're hard because we haven't evolved to do them. Some of these things were hard because I didn't have the container to do them at the time, but I was okay with doing the hard things while still trying my best to let it be fun and let it be easy in my own way, right? Asking the questions like, okay, this is hard. It's designed to be hard because we haven't evolved to do this thing in this way. However, is there a way that in the capacity that I can right now, can I still let it be easy, right? So that was number 4. And number 5, oh my God, this is probably one of the biggest lessons overall that I've learned in my life journey, and one that's been hard because I think this is hard for everyone, especially women. I think this is really, really hard. So this one is that you can't take everyone with you. In fact, trying to take people with you is dangerous for them. That does not make you a kind person. It doesn't make you a safe person. And you are looking out for them when you don't try to force them to come with you. So I'll give you examples of this. And if you're in my courses, you've probably heard most of these examples, but I'll share it here for the first time. What I've learned is that when you are doing well, there's a lot of people that obviously, want your help or think that you're lucky, or you just want to help them because you love them. But if you interfere with their process, if you help them beyond their container, this has been such a life lesson, you will actually hurt them more than you help them. I have so many examples of this. Let me see how much time I have to give you as many as I can. So I have at least 5 examples in this one particular category where I had hired people. Some of these examples are from my real estate days. Some of these examples are from my hiring help around the house, and some are from my current business, where I hired people, and instead of paying them what they were asking for and what they had a container for, I decided to pay them more because I thought they should expand their container to earn more money, which is unfair to them, as you can imagine. And in some weird way, I ended up creating the lottery effect in their life. You know how there's the curse of the lottery, 95% of lottery winners, you can Google this, end up worse off than before they won the lottery, and they hope that they actually never won the lottery because some of the bad things that happen to them are irreversible. So I thought I was helping them. I thought I was giving them from my overflow and expanding their container. And in some of these situations, really bad things happen to these people, not directly as a result of me giving them more money, but they created chaos in their life because they couldn't handle all of a sudden earning more money because they didn't feel worthy of that money. They didn't feel like they had earned that money. They didn't feel like they had done inner work for that money. And it was very shocking to see this. By the time I became aware of this going on, it was like already 5 times that I had done this in my own life, at least in the employee situation or team member situation. And the last one was when my husband did this with our old pool guy. He was thinking of quitting because he said he had too many customers because he's really good. And we decided to convince him to stay by offering him 3 times what he was earning with us before. And he stayed, but then completely just disappeared on all, like completely destroyed his business. So when this is such a big example that sometimes people don't realize that they don't have the container. So in these situations, they didn't ask for more money. We just gave it to them and they couldn't handle it. Let me talk about when your family and friends are actually asking for your help. They want a shout out from you, or they want you to help them with their business, or they want more money from you. You think that if you give that to them, you're helping them, but you don't realize that if they had the container for it, they would already be there. And I'm not saying don't help people. I consider myself a very generous person. It's something that it's like a curse from my family. You guys know this if you've read my book, Lady Balls, and I've healed the negative generational aspects of it, but it's still very much a part of my psyche. I like to be generous. I like to give. However, I'm more aware now that if I give more than what this person can handle, it will actually hurt them. I've had scenarios where I've given people a shout out to their business and then they completely sabotage their business. I've had scenarios where I gave, people money to start a business or do something, and then it turned that person into a predator, or they destroyed their relationship, or they got sick because they didn't have the container for it. The worst scenarios in my life have been when I tried to help someone with their business by bringing them onto my business, and they created massive amounts of drama in my business. And these have all been lessons that, listen, if you're going to be generous in the capacity that this person can handle. You can be an invitation for them to do some more inner work, or give it to them in small little bits and pieces that they can digest, but don't try to take them there. Don't try to set their container. It's unsafe for them, and in some cases it might actually be unsafe for you. Okay, I know we think that we're helping people by forcing the thing onto them, but there's very few people that can actually take that type of container expansion all at once. Okay, I love you and I want the best for you, and people that are generous people, want to take their family and their friends and their loved one and everyone along, but the best thing you can do is be the shining example and help them in the capacities that they can swallow it and digest it, and it's a safe container expansion for them. Okay, so the offer that I have for you is for those of you guys that are looking to start doing your inner work, and maybe you're new to my channel, or maybe you've been there for a long time but you haven't invested in the Basic Babe bundle. I have an offer for you, a special offer. You can check it out by clicking on the link below for the Basic Babe bundle sales page to see the offer. And if this has been calling out to you and you're ready to start your inner work and let 2024 or whatever year you're watching this in be the best year yet, then definitely get started with the Basic Babe Bundle. All right, babes, I love you. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what lessons you have learned or which one of my lessons, 5 lessons, was your favorite, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.